Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Thursday night video of us, the British Fist.
Good shit.
As Kirsty Hen would announce it. Fucking hell, she's a shit announcer, isn't she? Yeah, but what I'll announce now is make sure you subscribe up above, like this video, and get your thoughts on the show down below.
Please contact us in the link in the description box below.
Well, you know I'm Mr. Parkin here, but more importantly, the man who's bobbing his head to you at the moment, it's NJ.
What's up?
And the thing we all love about you, NJ, your What's Up gimmick is fantastic. Anyway. So we got the Go Home show going into No Surrender, which is it this Sunday? Is it? Are you sure? Because I don't really know. It wasn't the best of Go Home shows, put it that way.
Not really.
So we'll just start off with the opener. We open up with Mr. Anderson. As we know, last week he came out to the aid of Sting, even though they had a rivalry about 2 months ago. Basically, he calls out Bully Ray, thanks for kicking him out of Immortal, saying, yeah, it's great for me. You know, he still has a rematch for the title that he's going to cash in tonight.
It was great to see Mr. Anderson open the show, because obviously he's a favourite of ours.
Yeah.
And the problem is, the opener weren't the best. It didn't give me a great feeling for the rest of the night, or even
it did seem a little bit pointless, didn't it? I mean, the whole opener. It just seemed to hype up for the main event of the night, which I don't mind. It's just that, can we have a little bit of emphasis on the Go Home show on the pay-per-view we got this Sunday? Out comes Sting and says the network have given him the power. Why? I don't know. And he's basically going to be the special enforcer for Mr. Anderson's rematch tonight against Kurt Angle for the TNA World Championship, which of course will be the main event, right?
Meant to be.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else really?
That's about it for the opener.
Yeah. What did you think of the opener? Then it didn't really seem to achieve much for Anderson. It just gave us the main event, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't really feel much to it. Not really.
At least it was something different though. Anderson coming out, someone that we actually like, rather than fucking Hogan and Immortal. I'll give it that though. That's one thing I'll say. We then get all the matches and all the backstage segments, and the main event announced for tonight. We see that it'll be Jeff Hardy with a live mic. We get all the matches announced, which I guess is good. It means we know what we're going to get on the show, and then we get the #1 contendership match for the TNA Tag Team Championships. And all I'll say is, it really does show how bad this tag team division is going to get without beer money, doesn't it?
It's a bit of a shame, because the way that TNA is going at the minute, their tag teams are not there anymore. And we're probably going to get the end of beer money even when we get to the segment. We'll explain more about it later.
Yeah, so basically we get Devon and Pope versus British Invasion, who haven't been seen on TV since their #1 contendership match for the last pay-per-view. The #1 contendership, and this match lasted 4 minutes. We have Mexican America on commentary. It was an alright match. It's all so last minute, and it's, I don't know.
The thing is, when I look at this match, I see Devon and Pope, who are meant to have this hatred or so towards each other, and they're meant to be teaming up and being okay about it to go on through this match.
Are they TNA's version of Kobe Kingston and Evan Bourne?
You could see the comparison.
Bringing 2 guys together who aren't really being used and putting them in the tag team division, even though the tag team division at the moment really isn't looking too good.
No, it's not. No.
Yep. So our new #1 contenders are Devon and Pope, and they win. And I'm thinking to myself, really, if you're going to make a tag team win, make British Invasion win. You know, aren't they a face tag team? Can they not go against Mexican America at the pay-per-view? Again, this is all so last minute. This all should have been sorted already and done, really, shouldn't it?
It should have. Like, I can't really see the match at the pay-per-view being any interesting, because Devon Pope are just not that good as tag team.
I think this will be our first pay-per-view in a while since we've been doing it anyway. Beer Money won't be defending the tag team championship, so I don't. And it's the first tag team title match. I'm not really looking forward to it, if I'm honest with you. You know. All right, we then get a video package hyping up the finals of the BFG series. You know, this kind of thing should have been done like quite a lot through this month, I believe. Yeah, we get the video package, which is hyping up for the BFG series, the finals, which are going to happen at No Surrender. So our first, announcement of the pay-per-view matches there, and then we get a promo with all the members of the BFG series. Well, it's basically Immortal versus Fortune, isn't it? In this segment,
that's what it came down to.
Bully Ray on the mic and everything.
That's what it came down to. Yeah, not much to say.
Yeah, I mean, Bully Ray puts over Beer Money. He talks about them moving away from the tag team division as singles wrestlers. He puts over Gunner as well. So Bully Ray is full of putting over people in this segment, isn't he?
In this segment, I did like the whole Bully Ray lifting up himself, saying how great he is and how he's going to go on and win this tournament, and how he said that how much a great tag team Beer Money are, but the fact that he's going to win, it just definitely gave you a big feeling to the match.
I just wish all 4 of them would have got a bit of mic time. I mean, I know Gunner isn't great on the mic, but at least give him something to say that it's going to make me believe he's going to win this tournament. Or I think Bobby Roode gave a very good promo, in my opinion. He talks Just a very good promo. I can't really remember too much of what he said, but he basically said, I'm going to kick Bully Ray's ass. But it was a very, very good promo and kind of says to me why he is going to win this tournament. He talks about it being a dream to become world champion, so he's making this tournament actually seem like it means something, which is more than enough to say for a lot of the roster, in my opinion.
Even though that Robert Roode said that Beer Money are always going to be standing strong together, I'm kind of thinking this could be the break of it, even if they do feel like stay together at the end of it.
I think that as well. I think Bobby Roode will win this, so I think they might just break up. Yeah, so that kind of made the BFG series seem important. We got an announcement of a match later, which is a 4 corners match between all 4 of the members, so that was okay, I guess. We then get to a pointless match with Eric Young and Robbie E, 2 guys who we fucking hate, for the TV title, and, you know, should we just skip this?
Pretty much.
Because it was a pointless match. I have nothing to do with the pay-per-view. Why is it even there? On a go-home fucking show.
True.
After that, well, Rob Terry attacks Young post-match, but it's really no meaning to it at all. What's the fucking point? We then get a little bit of a confrontation between RVD and Jerry Lynn. I'm guessing this is going to lead to a match with Bound for Glory between these two. You know, Jerry Lynn now being the heel.
Well, the thing I like about this, the thing that happened that should have been happened weeks ago, Rob Dent actually does take down Jerry Lynn.
Yep.
Whacks him when he just lays up flat. That should have been needed by now.
Coughing like an old man, wasn't he?
That was it.
Yeah, he talks about Jerry Lynn talks about him always being the second in the spotlight to RVD. So at least the feud has kind of got some sort of meaning now. And if it's going to lead to Bound for Glory, I can kind of see why they're doing it. We also get another backstage segment, of course. Winter's getting her rematch at No Surrender via Karen Jarrett. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why not just have Mickie James win it at the pay-per-view? That way you'd be able to have made some hype for this at the moment. And they teased Velvet Sky with the title. I'm just like, no, don't tease Velvet Sky with the title.
No, it was kind of a bit of a, again, not a really good segment. Karen Jarrett getting involved, didn't really do much for it, so I just didn't like it that much.
No, I mean, why couldn't you have hyped this up last week in a ring segment rather than have Karen Jarrett be the fucking leader of the fucking knockouts? Do you know what I mean? Why couldn't you have used that? I don't know. It's just really terrible booking and timing decisions by TNA here, in my opinion. We then get our main event, or sorry, 1 hour main event. It's Kurt Angle versus Mr. Anderson in his rematch for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. On your go-home show, this should be the main event, right? It's the most important title in the company at the moment, and it's in the hour main event slot. You know, why? I just did not give this title, just did not give this match any meaning whatsoever, did it?
No, it was in the wrong place, because as we'll get to later, it could have been put into a better place. But the match itself was quite good. You had Mr. Anderson doing good against Kurt Angle. Yeah,
I mean, it was a good. I thought it was a good match too. It did seem somewhat rushed. This is the kind of match you want to see going for, what, 10 minutes or something?
Right.
And it got 7.5. And it's just like, it's another main event type segment which doesn't get enough time. We had Immortal interfering in the match, beating on Sting and Anderson, which I guess kind of makes some logical sense. And we now know Kurt Angle is part of Immortal. I'm kind of glad it ended in a DQ. It means that they can do something with them in the future. We found out later that they would be doing something with Anderson, Sting, and Kurt Angle at the pay-per-view, fucking finally.
The whole Immortal attack thing definitely did something for that match, because you saw that Mr. Anderson could have came the champ at the last minute.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So for the fact that they came down and helped, it saved the champ for being changed over.
Yeah.
Because now Kurt Angle can go and face the rest of down the line.
True. We then get a knockout tag team match, always quite interesting, between Velvet Sky and Mickie James versus Angelina and Winter. So we've got our number 1 contender there in Winter, I'm guessing, now that Karen Jarrett's announced it, of course. And Mickie James, our title in there, so a kind of tag team match there, you know, which is kind of good for the pay-per-view hype, and I think. I just don't understand why they made the title change last week if they were going to continue with this. You know,
that's very true. Should have waited. But the thing is, this match, again, I suppose I said before, if you watched our past videos, I look out for knockout matches, but this one just weren't. It just didn't really have much feeling to it. Yes, there was. You had the normal contender and the champ, but I still couldn't get into this match.
To be honest, I didn't think it was that bad. I was looking at it and I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was a bad match. I didn't think it was a great match. It was okay. You got 5 minutes, which is a decent amount of time for a TNA Impact wrestling show where wrestling matters, brother. And Winter gets the win with the mist, so I guess it's the number 1 contender looking strong, cheating her way, doing the heel thing, making the challenger look stronger against the pay-per-view. So I guess it kind of achieved that in a way. It's just we didn't really have the match officially announced. It's nice when these matches are officially announced, so the build can actually, so this kind of thing can actually mean something that we can understand it a little bit more. You have anything else to say about the knockout tag team match? You love knockouts, so
I do. But with this match again, it gave us some of a feeling for their match later on the pay-per-view, but I just weren't really into it that much.
Yeah, we then get an X Division promo segment. Very rare, these things. We get Austin Aries coming out doing a promo. Austin Aries is always good on the mic. But to cut a long story short, Kendrick comes out in a suit, basically trying to be Austin Aries. So he comes out in a suit, takes his suit off, and I don't understand why Kendrick got a majority of the mic time when you've got a guy like Austin Aries who could do well controlling a mic.
I'm quite glad they had this segment, but then when Kendrick came out, it kind of dragged a bit. I just thought, oh dear, just get to the point of all this.
Well, at least we know they're going to have a match at the pay-per-view. Well, it didn't get announced, but we know us smart marks can understand these things. So Ken, basically, it's good. I guess decent hype at the pay-per-view. We've got give us a promo. We know there's a rivalry between the two now, and Kendrick goes to attack Austin Aries, but he runs out the ring. So I guess it's kind of the heel retreating, not touching each other too much before the pay-per-view. So I guess it achieved that in a way. If you think about it,
I think it definitely led to you having the feeling of their match at the pay-per-view, as well as having them both had their say towards each other.
I just hope that fucking Austin Aries wins that belt.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed here at the British Fist. We then get an announcement of a match at the pay-per-view this Sunday. Yay! Last-minute match booking.
Yay!
We realise that Bischoff, or the network, have announced that it's going to be a triple threat match for the TNA World title between Anderson, Sting and Kurt Angle. And your TNA main event title is being announced in a backstage segment. Can you not have built something up a bit better than this? I'm just saying.
And the way I'm going to see this match is the main rivalry in this match is Sting and Angle. So I think Mr. Anderson's just there to maybe the one to get pinned.
Yeah, I think that too. Especially if they're going to go into Sting and Hogan at Bound for Glory, brother. So yeah, that match is announced. I guess we've got some matches of the pay-per-view, which means we can do a predictions video, eh?
Yeah,
finally.
That.
Get in. British Fist.
Good shit.
All right then. We then get our main event match of the evening. It's the 4 members of the BFG series in a 4-corner match. Bully Ray versus Gunner versus James Storm and Robert Root. Basically, Immortal versus Fortune, isn't it? Really? I guess I kind of like this whole the BFG series related match being before the main event. I just wish it was the actual main event, as the sort of focus on this pay-per-view is going to be the Bound for Glory series, isn't it?
I think it should have been the main event, because obviously it would finish tonight off in an okay way.
Yeah. Before the match even starts, we have Joe and Morgan come out, and I'm just. Why couldn't you have taken the TV title segment out and put Joe and Morgan, who are involved at the pay-per-view, in a segment on their own, rather than have the stupid TV title match, which isn't fucking doing anything for the pay-per-view? Why do they have to interfere in this important segment for the pay-per-view, isn't it?
That's true. They shouldn't come down, because obviously Samoa Joe, he's lost now, so for him to try and come back and get involved now, it would have been a waste of time anyway.
What about the match itself? We've got 5 minutes. What do you think of the match?
The match itself was a pretty good match. It was... Obviously, we didn't beer money this match. It's going to be a good match. And I think I was entertained through this match.
Yeah, but basically, we get the whole tease of beer money. They kind of face each other off a bit. I still think that's going to be the final of the Bound for Glory series. But basically, what we get at the end is we get Gunner picking up the win on Bully Ray. Now, this kind of establishes Gunner that he's on his own. He doesn't really give a shit about Bully Ray. Because as we know, Bully Ray has been kind of like leading it, saying, I'm going to win it, you're going to win it for me, blah, 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 blah. So to see Gunner on his own is kind of good for this tournament when you're all on your own.
I think basically we had earlier in the night that whole segment with them all in the ring, and Bully Ray was basically saying that Gunner's going to help him become the champion. And obviously, you could see by Gunner he weren't really liking that. So I think this match they're going to be having at the pay-per-view. Yeah. We're hinting a lot of things. Break with Immortal, which obviously I think Gunner's going to want to leave Immortal.
Probably.
And then the breakup of beer money. So it's definitely gave us a lot going for this match.
So a good match. It established Gunner as an individual wrestler now. So I guess in all, it was a quite effective segment. We got a good match. We got good implications from it. Decent hype for the pay-per-view as well, as we know these 4 are going to be involved in semi-finals and finals matches. So
true, we've got that announced too.
It's just a shame that the main event had to happen, didn't it?
Yeah, the main event itself, again...
Jeff Hardy, eh?
Yeah, he didn't really get much time because of the time that he had left. But to be honest, I was expecting more from this ending, but again, he said what was needed.
Can I just say, if the show had ended with that segment, I would have been happy. The final segment we would have seen was a BFG series segment. And to see the final segment on the go-home show before the pay-per-view involving someone that isn't in any way booked at the pay-per-view was stupid for me. I don't understand why we had to leave the show on Jeff Hardy. Why can't you just have this after the pay-per-view and then help that build to Bound for Glory rather than have it now when the pay-per-view really needs focus?
That's what I was looking at it.
It's just stupid.
And all he really wants is one more chance. And I'm just thinking, to be honest, as much as I think Jeff is a good wrestler in the ring because of his little spots and that, he did affect the main event of this night.
Yeah, it was a real. Why can't you put this in the middle of the show, or at least put it on another show after the pay-per-view? He basically wants forgiveness. It looks like they're bringing him back as a babyface as well. He basically gives a sob story, which kind of indicates to me they're going to bring him back as a babyface, whereas he was a heel before. So I guess he works better as a babyface, I think, in my opinion.
He does, yeah.
So, you know, that was pretty much the show. NJ, your overall thoughts on the show itself, in terms of a go-home show to the pay-per-view on Sunday?
Okay, I think there's quite a lot of this night that actually gave us some kind of involvement for the pay-per-view. It kind of said like the whole Austin Aries thing. We had the
knockout
stuff, but I think, to be honest, it wasn't the best of TNA shows. It gave us hints of what could be happening later on, but again, and finished with Jeff Hardy. I just really hope it finished with either the top, the TNA World Championship, or at least the Battle Royal. Yeah,
I agree with you there. I didn't feel it was the best of going shows. A lot of the things were kind of pitter-pattered about everywhere. There was nothing really concrete for this pay-per-view, and it's one of the reasons that this to me is seeming like a throwaway pay-per-view. I mean, you have the BFG series there, but a lot of things have been last minute, and it's really affected the pay-per-view hype. A lot of people got showcased in this show, and I guess the right people got showcased. Just I don't think they get showcased, apart from one or two segments, didn't really get showcased in the right ways, in my opinion. So, you know, I question sometimes some of TNA's decisions when they're focusing more on TV ratings rather than pay-per-view buys. That's all I can say. Like the Sting Hogan thing, the Jeff Hardy thing.
I think this could have been like this their last chance to actually give us more of a hype, more of a positive feeling going to pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I think they've tried to do their job by trying to make it better, but it's just not giving us a positive feeling at the end.
Final grade on the show, would you say?
C.
Yeah, I can't give it any more than average. It really was an average show. While we're here, though, make sure you look out for our No Surrender pay-per-view predictions video, which is going to be up on Saturday, the day before the pay-per-view, well, for us anyway. So make sure you go check that out. I have been Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me has been NJ.
What's up?
And before we go, we'll say make sure you get your comments down on the show down below, and we'll say one word. NJ, do you want to give the word?
Well, before I say that, I want to say thank you for tuning into our video. Tune into our next videos, which will be SmackDown. And that has now left us to say that one word that Daniel hinted me to say, and that is goodbye.